Tzu Chi volunteers care for victims of a recent gas explosion at food producer Yu Shan Fang's factory. Jordan Tzu Chi volunteers give single mothers at a refugee home items for Eid-al-Fitr. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Marilee Shioda. Thank you for joining us. In New Taipei's Wugu district, a gas explosion at a kitchen run by food producer Yu Shan Fang caused extensive damage and injured 12 people. Upon learning of the situation, Tzu Chi volunteers went to the different hospitals where the victims were sent to care for their families.
At the site of the gas explosion, glass windows on the first and second floor are shattered. In addition, the doors, ceilings, and blinds are also completely ruined. The car top has been torn off. The force of the explosion has even knocked down a row of scooters parked across the street. The cause of the accident is attributed to a gas leak from the gas cylinder in the basement. The central kitchen on the first floor and the office on the second floor have also been heavily damaged.
The gas company has changed the gas cylinders for them. There might have been a gas leak. Before they could stop the leak, the explosion took place. Since there are signs of explosion in the basement and first floor, it is suspected that gas rose to the first floor, causing an explosion.
The force of the explosion has impacted a building across the street, damaging its glass door and ceiling. The security guard was shocked to see a delivery man rushing into the building with broken glass all over his body.
I came out and saw some blood on the floor. He was lying outside the door.
He was injured and I came right over here. I first absorbed the situation and came inside to call our service center 110 and 119.
The gas explosion injured 12 kitchen employees and passers-by. They were all sent to different hospitals. Tzu Chi volunteers have gone to each hospital to care for the injured. Far Eastern Memorial Hospital took in 3 injured patients. Among them, 56-year-old Mr. Xu is the most severely injured.
His vital signs are still stable, although the areas of the burns on his face is not large, but they are an important area, maybe affecting his lung and trachea, so we need to have him in ICU for observation.
Among the 2 delivery men who were injured, one suffered burns to 27% of his back and hands. He's still in the ICU. The other patient, 24-year-old Mr. Xu, was not so severely injured and has been transferred to a regular ward. The 2 were delivering supplies to the kitchen when they got injured. Their families are quite shocked.
He's injured on the left side of his face and neck. He could still go to the restroom. Therefore, we feel that he should receive further treatment.
Representatives from Yu Shan Fang have also come to visit the injured and comfort their families. Besides them, Tzu Chi volunteers also accompany the injured as they plan to deliver consolation cash and other assistance in the future.
The cleanup after the June rainstorm is still going on in Jinshan, New Taipei City. Thanks to the Tzu Chi volunteers' help, many of the victims were able to restore their business and homes as quickly as possible.
The outdoor hot spring equipment is covered by the mud. The owner of this hot spring business has been cleaning for 2 days and is feeling very exhausted.
I feel pity for the people in the south. I finally realized that if you don't experience it, you can't feel their agony.
Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at their own accord to clean up everything.
You must tell me you are Tzu Chi volunteers, okay? And I'll give you free treatment once. It's really wonderful. Please relay my gratitude to the master. Thank you all, Amitabha.
The bed and breakfast owner is full of gratitude while watching Tzu Chi volunteers mindfully shoveling away mud and cleaning his establishment. Miss She approaches the volunteers as she provides water to help her neighbor clean their home.
This family is in the low-income category and no one knows how to clean up.
This family lost its power and running water after the storm, but kind people helped them clean up their home.
I'm very grateful to the volunteers for their hard work.
People who can give help also feel blessed.
I feel blessed because I can be here and I have the strength to help.
Without regard to their gender or age, these volunteers share in the joy of working together to clean up the area.
In Taiwan, at the monthly aid distribution held at the Jingsobo in Hualien, a free clinic station was also set up this month. In addition, volunteers also provided free haircuts to care recipients and students from a local elementary school.
At Jingsi abode in Hualien, 55 Tzu Chi care recipients follow the moves of Tzu Chi volunteers to do some relaxing exercises. The students from Jiaming Elementary School are also here. Since Tzu Chi volunteers went to their school to provide free haircuts 6 years ago, they have been invited to come to the abode every month.
For once a month, we help the students look their best. Then the children will look very spirited, giving them much self-confidence.
In addition, Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center has set up a free clinic station to serve the care recipients. Since many of them seek treatment regularly, the doctors also arrange for them to go to the hospital.
For many patients with high blood pressure or diabetes, we usually share health knowledge with them. Besides taking medication, there are still other things they can do to help themselves.
Besides receiving help, the care recipients also make donations to help Syrian refugees, paying the love forward.
Staying in Hualien, in recent years, the county has seen the ratio of young people smoking and chewing betel nuts being much higher than that national average. To encourage people to stop these bad habits, the Hualien County Health Bureau and the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital launched a second annual art contest to promote their anti-smoking, anti-betel nut campaign.
There are some 700 entries from elementary school children, and teachers serve as judges in this competition, carefully looking over all of the work.
Compared to the first time we held the event, I noticed that the children made a lot of progress. Their performance in this competition is quite evident when compared to last year.
Hualien County has more and more young people engaging in smoking and chewing betel nut. This has led to this campaign, as many are hoping that art can help advance the aims of health education and influencing these children.
The general process of health education is not as effective in this anti-smoking campaign, so we turn to this art competition to teach children to stay away from cigarettes. Through these paintings, children can access relevant information about this subject and engage in family discussions, achieving the goals of our health education.
Protecting the health of our nation is an important issue which needs to be instilled in children at a young age. The winning entries in this competition will be presented on July 1st and will be on display for 1 month.
Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology has been promoting environmental protection and practicing recycling on campus since its establishment. Among the teams who participated in the 5th National Environmental Education Award, hosted by the Environmental Protection Administration, the university's outstanding performance allowed them to obtain first place in the Distinguished Honor Award this year.
Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology obtained first place in the Distinguished Honor Award of the 5th National Environmental Education Award. This university incorporates environmental education with sustainable development, which impressed the judges.
Since the establishment of this university, we have been promoting environmental protection and preserving indigenous culture. We do what we can to provide subsidies and consultation for indigenous students.
There are indigenous studies courses on campus, and an Aboriginal museum has also been established to pass on traditional culture. An indigenous botanical garden has been built on an abandoned land, where students can learn to protect the earth through friendly farming.
The education of this university is in accordance with Tzu Chi's recycling education. We also emphasize the importance of reducing carbon emissions and cherishing resources. We provide Tzu Chi's humanitarian classes and incorporate the issues of environmental protection into our education.
This university regularly hosts second-hand textbook sales for charity. This can not only help prevent wasting resources, but can also encourage everyone to practice recycling in their daily life.
In Swaziland, there are no Asian Tzu Chi volunteers, yet under the guidance of their counterparts from Durban, South Africa, local volunteers are still able to host a grand and beautiful Buddha Day ceremony. The annual Buddha Day ceremony in Swaziland is very revered, just like it is in Taiwan for these local Tzu Chi volunteers. They break up into teams to make sure the venue is presentable. The kitchen volunteers prepare dishes made from vegetables they have grown themselves in the DaAi garden. The decoration for the Buddha's altar is also becoming more delicate. This year, ivy morning glory were added to bring some color to the occasion. The audio for the ceremony is also handled by a special AV team. Pastor Jinu Mutsi, Mbingo's son, who is just 9 years old, is also very dedicated to participate in the chanting prayer service, just like the adults. Besides the community center's Buddha Day ceremony, the volunteers also brought the Buddha statue to those care recipients and seniors who are confined to their homes. This grandmother, though of a different religion, was still moved to tears after participating in the Buddhist ritual. While another woman who's disabled felt the deepest blessings. No matter the place or time, Tzu Chi volunteers from Swaziland will send their blessings and prayers to all those in need. Jordan Tzu Chi volunteers visited a refugee home in Swele, bringing aid items for the 34 families that live there. As the families receive a medical visit from Dr. Hala every 15 days, they have also come to see her as someone whom they can trust and rely on. The joy of giving is like none other. This is why Tzu Chi volunteers give children the chance to be of service.
There's an importance on emotional support. They may look happy on the outside, but in their hearts they are under a lot of stress as they can't return to their home in Syria. The 34 single mothers at the refugee home in Suela have received gifts from Tzu Chi's Jordan chapter prior to Eid-al-Fitr. Dr. Hala, who these families see every 15 days, is also their health support. Last week, Mariam was able to undergo hernia surgery. She's recovering well. This is all thanks to your assistance. Thank you, and may Allah bless you.
Next, the volunteers head to Al-Ola Jordanian School to visit their scholarship students.
Sand garden， 她在这个女孩子在玩 sand， 在 sand garden 这个小女孩在玩 sand。
Each visit, volunteers use songs and drawings to strengthen their bonds with one another. In Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers in Batam provide a moral education class in the third week of each month. This time, Tsusals headed outdoors alongside volunteers to clean up the beach, as well as promote recycling to residents.
The sun shines at the beach along with the sound of waves. These Tsusals head outdoors to clean up the beach.
I think it is really important to protect the environment. Like here, this place is a tourist attraction. If we can keep it clean, then the trash will not be littered everywhere.
These children work non-stop to pick up the trash along the beautiful stretch of coastline in Batam, Indonesia. By attending some group activities, they are able to overcome fatigue.
Though it is tiring work, I feel very happy to do this. Because I'm doing something good, I don't feel embarrassed.
With the guidance of volunteers, these children go door to door to promote environmental protection to local residents. With this practical experience, each one of them has learned to love and show respect to nature.
The rise of environmental awareness has led to criticism of some international fashion brands, which are now being accused of polluting the environment through their manufacturing process. One of the well-known brands is now working with a German organization to place recycling boxes in stores, where these clothes are later processed and remade into new clothes or padding material.
Taipei's Xinyi district is crowded with many international fashion brands. Some worry that Taiwan's market may not be big enough to sustain all of these companies. In 2016, Taiwan's textile industry output value was about $12.8 billion with imports of $3.3 billion while the export value was $9.9 billion This leaves domestic demand of $6.2 billion The answer is simply that local consumer purchasing power is indeed quite strong.
We received 16,882 kilograms of clothing. We feel this figure is quite good, but we can still do better with more efforts this year.
This fashion brand entered Taiwan in 2015, and to help counter the charges of being a polluting company, it stationed recycling boxes for used clothing at each of its shops. It accepts any type of clothing brand and even gives out discount coupons for those who utilize this service.
I will wear clothes for 2 to 3 years, which is a little bit old, but they're still in good shape as I put clothes in my closet, which I wear a little less.
This old clothes recycling box was in fact set up by a German environmental organization called iCollect, or ICO. 7 brands around the world work with it, but in Taiwan there is only one such company that has set up a recycling box. It stresses that old clothes and even old shoes can be made into new clothes, or at least a filling or padding material. This type of sentiment is already quite common in Europe and the United States. In Canada, we see a well-known outdoor brand in downtown Vancouver, which has an ICO recycling box at the door, and all of the company's stores in Canada cooperate.
They can put their used apparel or footwear or any outdoor apparel, and anything used, they can bring it in the box, and then we give them a coupon, so they get $10 off the $100 purchase in our store.
ICO is trying to lead fashion retailers to close the loop when it comes to the clothing industry. That is, when consumers buy new clothes, they are encouraged to recycle with these materials being used to make new clothes, which is a sustainable life cycle.
If we had such standards and regulations, and then with the cooperation of these brands to promote this, we would really see the domestic market developed.
However, current limits in technology and the complex amount of clothing material used means that ICO has just a 30% recycling rate from recovered clothes. And for recycling cotton, these fashion brands still have yet to achieve 100% recycled cotton usage.
In terms of cotton, today's technology to recover cotton fiber still means that its length and toughness still lag behind virgin cotton. This means that the percentage of recycled cotton in jeans is only about 20%.
In this lab, they are seeking a breakthrough in the use of recycled cotton. Here they use principles of oil and water separation, as the screen here is made from recycled cotton.
The film is very porous with a large surface, so its absorption capacity is very good. So we can do the oil and water separation.
Fengjia University has a team of 8 professors working on a material recycling program, with the sort of cotton filter technology being just one process.
The cotton from discarded clothes is put in this iron solution and dissolved with the addition of water, allowing the cotton to separate quickly.
Does this really magically work? Let's look at this test on a piece of cotton which is added to this ion solution, and 15 minutes later the fabric is completely dissolved.
就溶掉了嘛。好，这个大概蛮快的。
Now this solution is cellulose, and after adding a drop of water, white cotton fiber begins to slowly float in this solution, which is recovered cotton. Similarly, this cup of cellulose can also be reprocessed. It's as fine as a spider's thread and can be extruded to produce a non-woven film that can be quite useful and even filter industrial wastewater.
We can reuse some of the polymer modifying technology to make these thin films have new functions, such as strengthening them to enable it to absorb some pesticides or other contaminants.
At present, this project is still in the research stage. However, use of blended cotton material can be mixed with polyester fiber to become raw material for injection molding machines to make cups or bowls. This means that old clothes can be transformed into something else. These researchers hope that in the next 3 or 4 years, this technology will be able to help solve the difficult problem of clothing recycling.
This year's Step 30 International Ministries collection point for old shoes and book bags in central Taiwan is located at Zhishan Junior High School. Amongst the volunteers helping to pack the donations is a school administrator who traveled to Africa twice to accompany the distributions to local African children. After returning, he shared this experience with his students and encouraged them to cherish what they have.
These old shoes that we no longer wear can actually benefit poor children in Africa, becoming a sort of long-awaited gift.
I can give to those in need. I want to give them the shoes I wore as a child.
There are mothers who bring their children and also office workers in suits and ties coming here. We are all quite moved by this.
Step 30 International Ministries for Taiwan initiated this activity with Taichung's Zhishan Junior High School, taking part in the second mobilization of students and teachers to work as volunteers to package these donations. The school's student affairs director Ye Jingsun used his own funds to travel to Kenya and Swaziland to witness the incredible poverty, which was a moving experience.
Local kids buy PET bottles which have a yellow liquid, which I asked someone who said that it was the strong glue. Many of them haven't worn shoes in a long time, and they are even quite hungry. I thought it would be quite practical to give them some help.
These distant countries are in need of Taiwan's blessings and help. This steady stream of support has even led a Kenyan pastor to come to this campus to personally express his thanks.
Even a local school principal from this area came from so far away to express his thanks to the children. This was quite moving.
Every action is quite precious, and this year the goal is to collect 2 containers of shoes and book bags to show Taiwan's love for Africa.
To mark their graduation at Kaohsiung's Zhongzhen Elementary, 30 music class students decided to donate their hair to make wigs for cancer patients. This group of students began planning for this special graduation gift 3 years ago and has even influenced a 2nd grade boy to follow in their footsteps. We will leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for joining us today. Bye.